With Russia rearing its head internationally, I wanted to talk about the fundamental weakness of the country so that we don't blow it out of proportion. Unlike China, which has a robustly growing economy, the Russian economy is almost totally dependent on energy, oil and gas. It's a small economy. Russia's total economy is $2 trillion. That puts it about tied with Italy, which has about $2 trillion. Russia's population is 2.5 times that of Italy, but its GDP is about the same. Its population is about 6 times Canada, but Canada has a GDP of 1.8 trillion and Russia 2.0. So this is not an economic powerhouse. 80% of Russia's exports are oil and gas. Functionally, it's very much like Saudi Arabia as an economy dependent upon its energy resources. And Russia does produce about 9 or 10 million barrels of oil a day. The United States was at 6 a few years ago. Now it's up to about 7 or 8. You add in 2 or 3 from Canada, 1 or 2 from Mexico, and North America vastly exceeds Russia in its energy output. And our energy output is growing dramatically, whereas theirs is not. And as Americans frack more and develop more energy, and we hopefully build the Keystone Pipeline, we will surge past Russia and Saudi Arabia in energy production. Probably by 2020 or thereabouts, the United States and Canada and Mexico combined will produce about 20 million barrels a day of oil, and Russia will still be at 9 or 10, and Saudi Arabia at about 9. So the market will increasingly move toward the United States. That will make Western Europe much less dependent upon Russia for oil and gas. If the United States is smart, we'll build a lot of liquefied natural gas facilities. A plant costs about $1 billion to turn natural gas into a liquid. And then LNG, liquefied natural gas, can just be put on tankers and sent all over the world the same way oil can. And then you need a plant at the other end to regasify it and then ship it by pipeline. That would completely break Russia's political hold over Western Europe, which is basically generated by their near monopoly on external sources of natural gas for the continent. But in any case, the decreasing cost of energy, which was inevitable attendant to American increases in production, really strikes directly at the core of Russia's economy and Russia's power. So you're dealing with a very, very depressed nation. It's had decent economic growth, but that's all related almost all related to the price increases in oil. And once those stop and begin to moderate and move in the other direction, Russia will go down with it. In their advantage, they're a very well-educated country. They have a disproportionately large number of engineers and scientists and could be quite an intellectual powerhouse. But to do that, you need to free the society. You need to free the information sources and the internet and encourage them to become part of the human race. And Putin is pulling them back from that. But ultimately, that can't continue. The instability in Russia, the political instability is enormous. The dissident populations are huge. The ethnic pressures on Russia for separatism are enormous. And I wouldn't want to switch places with Putin any day of the week. Thanks a lot.